Let's bring in former Labor advisor, now a fellow at the McKell Institute, Darren Barnett, and Parnell McGuinness, managing director at strategic communications firm Agenda C, also former editor of the Liberal Party's website. Parnell, first to you, what's your read on the first week and a bit of the campaign? Obviously with Easter as well, but it's been noticeable for the number of difficulties Labor's had, a bit of momentum for the Prime Minister.
Yeah, and a bit of a confidence boost for the Prime Minister. But I think that today's Newspoll really was a sobering moment. You know, this is not a one-off poll showing that the independents are really gaining ground. It is across the board something that is showing up in polls, that there is a big soft vote this election, and that there are a lot of people who are still to be won over. They're not necessarily happy with either party. So I think this is going to be a really tight election campaign, and one that's just fascinating to watch.
Darren Barnett, we know that the Prime Minister, Andrew Parnell, was reporting that over the weekend he's been prepping for this first debate tomorrow night. I'm in Brisbane today ahead of that People's Forum here tomorrow night, Darren. And I can tell you as well that Anthony Albanese has been in Brisbane prepping too, and it seemed to show up a bit. He was sharper today, and maybe some of that's rubbing off, and the fact that he will be head-to-head with Morrison has helped him get in the right headspace as well.
Yeah, look, I was surprised by last week. I saw Albo and had a very brief chat to him the night of the budget reply, and he seemed very sharp, very switched on and on top of his game. So, look, there were some missteps last week. It's a long campaign. There's still quite a long time to go head-to-head. Albo really does have to make that count. He really has to stall the momentum that the government's built up and take some for himself. So it is a big moment in the campaign. Obviously early voting's not open, but Albo really needs to get everything right from here on in.
And with the debate, Parnell, it's the format that I prefer. Obviously I'm biased, but 100 undecided voters in the room, it's so unpredictable, unscripted, and the leaders have got to run with it. And I guess there'll be a bit of, some heated exchanges too, I think it's fair to say, between Albanese and Morrison when they're face-to-face for the first time in this campaign, Parnell.
Absolutely. Look, I also can't wait for the debate. It is one of the great formats, having undecided voters able to put their questions to politicians in that unfiltered way. Unfortunately, one of the things I think that we are going to see in this is a lot of very heavily messaged answers. I think that the winner of this debate will be the one who can give some substantial answers without coming off as too messaged. I also think that there's a great danger in this debate in being too aggressive. I think that what we've seen today has been all about parties fighting against each other, leaders criticising each other, this real slanging match. And you know what? The only candidates that this is going to benefit are the independents, because people are really sick of this kind of politics, and that shows up in groups. It shows up, in all kinds of normal conversations with normal people.